I also believe that neither for utilities, nor for vendors, nor for public service commissions was any of this of much interest until the public sector came along and started shoveling money at the problem, if in fact it's a problem. So, the organizers of this conference have assembled a panel that's well qualified to tell me I'm wrong about all of this.
I'm going to cover really three quick subjects. That is quantity of data, data management, and what I call governance and security. And let me start with the quantity of data. And what I want to do is identify where are the issues about this. And I think a little bit of misconception about where the issues are around the information deluge and the data that the industry will have to be dealing with. And so what I did is that knowing I was going to be doing this, I talked to a number of the executives and other technologists in the utility industry, particularly ones that are on the kind of the vanguard here. If you remember earlier, there was some information put up about a survey around the 22% of the utilities that are kind of on the leading edge with this. And so, matter of fact, last Friday I had lunch with a CTO of one of the large utility companies that's very much into the smart grid, smart metering. So I'll temper some of my remarks about that. Anyway, quantity of data. What are we talking about? You've heard a lot about the 720-fold increase in data as a result of smart meters. And of course like you've seen earlier, that's really only kind of the tip of the iceberg. There's many other points of contact, of communication that's going to take that number even higher, considerably higher than that. When you consider sensors on the network, even appliances in the home may also play into this, home area networks, and yes, even PHEVs. And I don't know, there's a magazine here that this week has come out with a whole series of articles about data and the big data explosion that's happening all throughout all industries. And I was particularly, my attention got captured by some of the terminology in here. You've heard about megabytes and gigabytes, and then now we're talking, and then we're talking terabytes, and now there's petabytes, and all of this is very relevant to the industry. And now it goes on and up, and they end up with yottabytes. Have you heard of yottabytes? And I know right away I get this little image of a little furry animal, or perhaps something in Star Wars about little grasshopper and things like that. But anyway, the point was that they make is said currently too big to imagine. That's kind of quite a measurement there. So is that where we headed in the utility industry? And I guess being a technologist, can we handle that? And I submit to that is not the issue. The pure quantity of the data has actually been solved. And you think about places like Walmart, who there's your point of sale, that every practically minute or hour that they're generating just extreme reams of data. You look into financial community and so on and so on. So that's not the issue. Then where is the issue around the quantity of data? Well, I think it's around data management, and then I've got verification of that with my conversations with the utility industry. What are they most concerned about? And really it gets down to acquisition, scrubbing of the data, dissemination, storage, and then the analysis. Now, I like to follow the money as far as what's getting the most attention today. And it's pretty easy to do. If you look and see what Oracle, Microsoft, and others are investing in today, it's in data analysis, to the tune in the last couple of years of $15 billion of acquisitions that we collectively have made, to enhance our capability to do analysis of very large quantities of data. And so why are we doing that? Because we believe, that's where most of the industries are headed today, is getting into this, and dare I say, and it's actually in this article that's here, that there is going to be a data economy. You heard about the digital economy. Well, folks, guess what? The data economy is now going to be upon us too. But the real issue is, to me, all those things are very relevant, and if you're into technology, you can understand scrubbing and so on about garbage in, garbage out. But the dissemination of the data, I think, is what I think the industry is already starting. Some of the early adopters are already struggling with. How do you get the information, the data that you're going to do the wealth of data to the right place at the right time in a very timely fashion that you can react to and make very timely decisions, or perhaps even have it automatically made for you.
I look at this and, I was thinking about it last night, and data everywhere, but how do you use it to make better decisions, right? That's kind of the key. And I'm sitting there in bed last night looking at this, and I said, you know those Bing commercials we did where you got the wife in bed, and he mentions something about going to Hawaii, and the husband starts spouting off Hawaii 5-0 and quotes from Hawaii 5-0 and all this stuff coming at her. She has no idea what he's talking about. And I think, that's kind of the situation we all are trying to deal with, not just as Gary pointed out, just on utilities, but, financial institutions, you name, Walmart, the Home Depots, they've got all this nailed down. So, how to deal with all this mass quantity of data and trying to turn information into something that's not unique. Certainly the utility industry has its own little spin on everything in terms of being critical infrastructure. But, if you look at what's going on today, you just kind of break it down. I was like kind of playing on Gary's theme of there's more to it than just this consumer side to the smart grid, or what we call the smart energy ecosystem. And I think if you kind of sum all this up, there's kind of my view is there's kind of three things. One, you got companies are working now, and I know, talk to lots of CTOs and CIOs who are trying to put in enterprise-wide data management strategy, information management strategies. And one of the challenges is not just IT, but OT, right? The operational technology groups merging, getting across and getting a handle on all this. Melding both of those together. As Gary pointed out, the government's risk management compliance is becoming much more important. Between, you've got NERC, you've got NIST, you've got all these players. There's more exposures. We're going away from proprietary systems, but we've got to be vigilant in that, and that's a never-ending task to really try to be on top of that for all companies and all vendors that support it. And I think as you look at this, things are changing, right? It's like the regulation's uncertain, the carbon's uncertain, the business models are changing. Although slow, but we look at it and we say, well, this is probably, most everybody in this panel agree, this is probably one of the most exciting times in the 100-plus year history of the industry. So it's exciting for us. And it's all about having capabilities, right? You need the capabilities to be able to. So what you really need to be successful is capabilities, I think, in your enterprise. And that's one of the keys that utilities have to definitely be more agile, to have those capabilities to adjust those new business requirements to take advantage of the opportunities.
The magic in supporting mass market energy efficiency programs with these new technologies will rely really on four characteristics. The first is it's got to be simple. It's going to be very, very simple. And all this data provides us with a great opportunity to make it really complex, both for the organization and for the customer. Second, it has to be convenient, because we're going to be competing for discretionary time, and customers don't have a lot of time. Third, it has to be intuitive. And fourth, of course, it has to be accurate. And that's no small undertaking in its own right. So finally, I think, is it therefore possible to drive lasting, scalable, sustainable consumer behavior with smart metering and smart grid? Of course it is. There's all sorts of different industries and nonprofit sort of organizations that have gone before us in utilities, so we know it's possible. But those organizations that take the data, but more importantly, evolve their core operation to become much more customer-centric, those are the organizations that are going to do the best job at this.
What exactly would a household that had adopted this be doing? How would its lifestyle change or its activities change?
Okay, well, I'd just like to address some of that, Matt. And first of all is that I'd like to change the discussion a little bit, is that can we equate, if it's good for the utility and it allows the utility to operate better, more efficiently, more reliably, and perhaps even less cost, is that going to be good for the consumer? And I think the answer to that is yes. I mean, it seems to be, that will it flow to the consumer? And maybe there's some other opinions about that. But does this have the possibility, to make the network more reliable? Absolutely. You think about all the capabilities of being able to process the data more in real time and have the technology available to do that is a reality.